Welcome back to another video about fractions. Today, we're going to look at fractions as equal groups on a number line. Okay, so we talked a little bit about this on the last video, and you did get to do a practice with number lines, but you used whole numbers and not fractions on them. So now I'm going to really show you how to put fractions on a number line and how you can find those fractions just using the number line, even though it's blank. Look at the section between 0 and 1 on the number line below. Okay, we have a 0 to 1 on a number line, and it's blank in between, and we have to figure out what we're going to do and figure out what fraction is going to go with this. So the best way to do this is go ahead and see how many equal parts in total you have between 0 and 1. So what I like to do, I like to label them. So I put 1, 2, 3. And if you remember, the total amount of equal parts is always going to be your denominator because that's showing how many you have in total. So I know I have 3 equal parts. I can go ahead and write in my denominator 3 for each tick mark. Now I have to figure out what's going to go on top. Now it's asking what each tick mark is representing. So my first one, 1. I have 1/3 there. I keep going. 2. Okay, this is 2/3. And 3. 3/3. And remember, 3/3 is showing me that is a whole number because the denominator and numerator are the exact same number, saying that's a 1. 1 whole. Now we have 2 questions. How many equal parts are there? Well, we already did this ahead of time, and we found that there are 3 equal parts. Number 2, what fraction does each part show? Okay, questions like these try to trick you up because some of y'all might put 3/3, but it's really asking how much is each part, okay? So I'm going to look back. This is 1/3, this is 2/3, 3/3. Notice it is in thirds. So each part is 1/3. So I want to put each part shows 1/3. And I'm done for that one. For your assignment today, you're going to work on 3 and 4. The number lines are blank, but I just showed you how to fill in those blanks and get your answers. The questions also are exactly the same. Now we're going to look at this number line, and if you notice, there are more than just one whole number. So I'm going to underline each whole number that is listed so we don't lose track. And we need to figure out the fractions that are going to be in between all these. So remember when I said we need to figure out every single equal part? Yes, we will be doing the exact same thing, except you need to see how many equal parts are in each whole. So I'm going to use a different color, so we'll use blue. So from 0 to 1, they have 1 equal part and 2 equal parts. Okay, so it's split in half, so there's 2. And I like to double check 1, 2, 1, 2 in between all the other whole numbers. So there are 2 equal parts in between each whole number. So that means our denominator is going to be 2. And we're going to put 2 under every single one of these little dashes because we've already figured out our denominators. Now that we have our denominators, we need to figure out our numerators. And just like before, we start counting one by one by one. So we have 1, so that's half, which is correct. And then we have 2. And remember, if the number and the denominator and the numerator are the same, that means it is a whole number. So we're going to keep going. Now we're on 3. And here we are looking at fractions that have a numerator that's larger than the denominator. And that's just saying there is a whole number within it. So we keep going. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know my last one's 8/2. So I'm going to go ahead and fill those in. And that is how you find the fractions within a number line that has more than one whole number. Now I'm going to look at my questions. How many equal parts are in each section? We've already figured this out because we know in each section we had to count. So from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4. And we found that there are 2 equal parts in each section, which is also known as our denominator. In the second question, it asks, what fraction does each part show? Each dash that I wrote in green or blue, however you look at it, that is saying what each part is showing. We look at our first dash and it says half. Every single one of these equal parts are a half. So each part shows half. We have another one that asks, each mark on the number line represents a fraction. What denominator will all the fractions have? We figured this out already. We already figured out our denominator all across this number line is going to be 2. So we're going to put each mark on the number line represents 2 for the denominator. Now, the reason I did number 6 is because you are going to do 8 and 9 by yourself. So for 8 and 9, you're looking strictly at the letter that you're given on the number line, and you have to figure out the fraction for that. They're not asking the fraction for all of these, just what B and A would be, and you're just going to put them in right there.